Okay, welcome back. Day 286 since delivery. I've gotten a few things I wanted to update on. One is the AC is completed. There was a couple of things that I wanted to make note of. You don't actually hook the dryer up. They want you to leave this dryer. So here's my dryer, and I made a little mount for it and put some of the extra hosing I had to stop the vibration. But this dryer, they want you to leave it completely sealed up until it is time to vacuum the lines and put the fluid in. And so right now I just got to kind of get it all lined up and ready to go. I hope to do that myself. I really want this whole build to be me doing this stuff. And so I've watched a video. There's one of you out there that has done a great job explaining how to hook it all up, vacuum the lines, and then put the coolant in, Freon in. And there's service lines right here by the pump where you fill that in. And that was another thing. The pump that came with the Blueprint 427 engine did not come with that connector to connect those lines to it, which surprised me because I think it's a standard size to the hose that hooks into it. So I had to, through trial and error, this has been something I've had to do quite a bit of, go online, buy a part comes in, and it doesn't fit. And so I had to go back and forth. I think I went through 3 of those parts, sending it back to get another one. So that's not an exact science because there are different sizes for different cars and different motors, and it just took a little bit to kind of figure that out. But got that done. My crimping, it's okay. You know, this one I wasn't super proud of. This one, I think I got better at it. I went ahead and got my own crimper. They say you can go to like a Napa, and if they're nice enough, maybe they will crimp your lines for you if you haven't measured and take them to them. I called ours. They were not nice enough. No, they just, maybe they didn't want the liability. I'm not quite sure, but either way, got a crimper probably for what it would cost. It was not that expensive online, and now I have one. So if when I go to vacuum the lines, if I've got a leak, I can at least go back and redo just those joints. So that's for the AC. I've got some helpers today. So you want to introduce yourself? You've already been on the video a couple times. This is Brecken, big helper. Tells me what I'm doing wrong. And this is Taco. This is what happens when you let your kids name the barn cats. Well, 2 things happen. One is they turn into pets instead of barn cats, although she's actually a pretty good hunter. And then they get names like a female cat, like here, Taco. So we've got Taco, Fredo, Mingo, and Luke Skywalker. So that's fun. But so next up, I worked on the trans tunnel. I put the trans tunnel together, and this is just holding together for now, 1/4 inch by 20. And I did these types of bolts that I could not undo by hand. I want to be able, I'll take an Allen wrench. I'll probably keep one in the car, but if I ever need to service it on the road, I should be able to get to it pretty easily. There'll be washers there as well, but I want to be able to take this off at a future date if I ever have to, and that is very well a possibility. So made it to where I could do that. I went ahead and put rib nuts in instead of rivets and glue, and I put some foam padding, some of that 1/4 inch foam padding under it across the bars, so there shouldn't be any rattling. And then also I've tried to think ahead for what, we have this fall off? Nope, no big deal. Put it right back on. Okay, so I left enough room. I've got insulation. I've got the cool mats I'm going to put in actually pretty soon. And I will take the cool mat all the way up to the edge, and then I will make it to where the carpet can still kind of tuck under that edge. And then this top trans cover, I plan to wrap in the leather like this. Actually, I'll do the insulation, the cool mat, and then the leather on top of that. So I'm trying to think ahead. It's like chess, not checkers. So I've got to really think a few steps ahead on pretty much everything, and then a lot of times I'm having to undo things and redo them. So that's what I did for that. The seat track, hey Brecken, can you hop up for a second? There are 4 holes for the seat track, one right there and there, and then 2 outside ones. And the 2 outside ones, you drill them out, and then you take 2 different size bolts to mount all the way through. One goes through the 2-inch square tubing, and the other one just goes through the plate. There's like a steel plate that's part of the frame. But the 2 inside ones, you get options. They give you self-tapping screws just to go right into that 4-inch tube that's under the car. But I chose to thread it and use a 3/8 inch bolt. So this way, if I ever need to make an adjustment, I can. The seat track, I've mounted to the seat here. So in fact, that's the 2 outside bolts, you know, one long one because it goes to that 2-inch, and then one to the plate. And then here, I've just got bolts resting, but I went ahead and bought some of these button heads to mount for these 2 here. Another thing I did and you'll see it's kind of a weird thing here. This used to have a little kind of an indention like this, and that indention stops the seat from sliding past that point. And I noticed it was like a 4-inch gap between the back of the seat and the back of the cockpit. And I really wanted to be able to close that gap and have the option for somebody taller, or even myself, just have more room and be able to slide the seat back all the way. So I drilled out that button, and I actually made kind of a new one here. And so the slide still stops on the new indention and kind of bypasses this whole. I think it's ugly, but it doesn't matter. It's gonna be hidden. So I did that on both sides. Not the prettiest thing, but it will work. So now I've got an adjustable seat track lined up. I can go still plenty far forward in case my lovely wife decides to take it for a spin. If you know her, you know that her and anything mechanical or electrical don't go hand in hand. So we'll see how that works out. I mean, she's gonna get to drive it, but she has pretty much wrecked everything she's ever been behind the wheel of. I gotta think that one through. But anyway, so Taco, got the seat track done. I will mount the other seat. The other seat on this side, here's my notes. I just grabbed something out of the trash and like, what have I not talked about yet? But the other side, you just mount directly. So I'll go ahead and scoot it back as far as it can go. Leave enough gap in between it and the back so that if I need to get back, and more than anything, clean. I want to be able to get a vacuum behind the seat, clean it easily. And since I can't slide it, I'm not putting a slider on it because I don't see the point. I'll just make sure that I leave enough gap. It's got plenty of leg room, so it's not an issue there. Also, this electrical plug kit. So on this plug kit, I have just a bird's nest of wires behind this dash. And I knew early on that I wanted to make it as clean as possible, but right now it is not. So what I've done is I bought this plug kit, and for example, I put a hole here, and this piece, you've seen this piece before, right here, this will sit, kind of goes up under the dash, but it'll basically sit right there. And so I've got the phone charger and the 2 seat heaters, and the phone charger just goes to the circuit board, but the seat heaters go actually into the trans tunnel and behind. And so I've got a single plug now with all the wires, and I even have driver's side written on and passenger side on the other written on it. So now when I want to disassemble this thing, if I have to for any reason, everything like this piece, it uses it's these buttons right here, these threaded kind of knobs that I made up. And so I can, by hand, remove the dash and remove that panel, and then with a little Allen tool, a little Allen wrench, I can get into here and you can take the transceiver off if I need to. But I want everything to be ideally just a handful of plugs. If I can pull the dash off and unclip 4 or 5 or 6 plugs and remove the dash, I'd like to be able to do that. The one thing that will be tough doing that, or 2 things I guess, I went ahead and did my knob for the heater valve. And a lot of guys, I've learned on this heater valve, you just pull it out like this, that opens up the line for the heater. And so you can see it here, right there, closed and open. And a lot of people say, well, you really don't need that heater. It's kind of like just in the winter. And you can just leave this and don't run it at all, and just reach in the engine and go ahead and flip it open and close the once or twice a year that you need to. I really wanted it to kind of be seamless. So I went ahead and ran it, had to powder coat that black. It came in a chrome. That's one thing I think I mentioned it on a previous video. I went ahead and bought one of those hand sandblasters, and that's really kind of paid for itself. They're cheap, but blasted the chrome off of it and then put a nice black powder coat on it. So yeah, got that done. Let's see, what else is there? Yeah, well, that's kind of it for now. The electrical plugs, I've got a ton of work there to do, but I want to be able to service this thing if I ever get caught in a bind. And also, I imagine this project has been much slower than I ever expected. And the reason why is not only am I taking my time and doing project, like here's a chandelier project I'm working on next, or kind of in the middle of, but I want to be able to enjoy the process. And as I keep going along, I keep going, ooh, this would be better. And I stop and pause where I'm at on track, and then I completely go like a side project in the car. I add something like a dead pedal kit or these knobs or just anything like that. So it's going to be a little slower, but that's okay. I'm doing this not to have this car at the end. I mean, I will, but I'm doing it to learn how to build a car and learn how an engine works and how everything connects to itself. And I really love that part of it. So yeah, that's where we're at for now. So here's my my young man here. Let's see, are you flying or playing? What are we doing?
I don't know.
You don't know? Well, do you want to say anything to our followers?
Like like and subscribe.
Is that right?
Like and subscribe if you think Taco's cute.
There we go. Like and subscribe. So anyways, till next time, that is, we are at day 286, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.